Robinhood has done it. The company has officially crossed the $100 billion market capitalization milestone, a level that not long ago would have seemed almost unthinkable for a broker that only went public in 2021. And it hasn't just crossed it by a hair. This has been part of a relentless rally that's now seen the stock gain over 200% year to date. That's right, 200%. In just the past week alone, it's climbed another 3+%, and over the past month, the stock has surged in a way that's caught the attention of Wall Street, retail traders, and the financial media alike. So, what's going on here? What's driving this incredible run for Robinhood? And just as importantly, what comes next? Let's dig in. First, the milestone itself matters. The $100 billion market cap isn't just a number, it's a psychological threshold that signals to investors, institutions, and even competitors that Robinhood is now a truly heavyweight player in the finance and tech landscape. Companies at this scale attract more analyst coverage, more passive investment from index funds, and often more mainstream investor attention. It's also the kind of level where conversations about inclusion in bigger indexes, like the S&P 500, start to become more realistic, and while that's not a certainty, it's a possibility that traders are already starting to speculate on. But to understand why Robinhood is here, you have to look at the mix of fundamental growth, industry tailwinds, and bold strategic moves that have been fueling the stock. On the fundamental side, the company's Q2 results earlier this month really set the tone. Earnings per share came in at 42 cents, comfortably ahead of expectations, with revenue growing 45% year-over-year to $989 million. That's not just a good quarter, that's a statement. And when you drill into the numbers, you can see where the momentum is coming from. Crypto trading revenue jumped 98% compared to the same period last year. That's huge, and it tells you that Robinhood is benefiting from the broader revival in digital assets, with Bitcoin, Ethereum, and other major tokens trading at much stronger levels in 2025 compared to the crypto winter of a couple of years ago. On top of that, the platform's user base continues to expand. Funded accounts now stand at 26.5 million, with assets under custody reaching $279 billion. The average revenue per user has climbed to $151, showing that Robinhood isn't just adding users, it's getting more value out of each one. That's a critical metric for any brokerage, and it's moving in the right direction. Then there are the industry-wide tailwinds. Retail investing is back in a big way in 2025. In fact, by some measures, retail participation is even stronger now than during the meme stock frenzy of 2021. We're seeing higher trading volumes, more engagement, and a willingness by everyday investors to explore new asset classes, whether that's crypto, options, or even tokenized assets. And Robinhood is perfectly positioned to capture that interest, thanks to its brand, its mobile-first platform, and its growing suite of products. Speaking of products, one of the big narrative drivers this year has been Robinhood's push into tokenized stock trading. This is still in its early stages, but the company has already launched tokenized US stocks in Europe, letting customers outside the United States trade fractionalized, blockchain-based representations of major equities. It's a bold move that puts Robinhood right at the intersection of traditional finance and decentralized technology, and it's something that could scale significantly if adoption picks up. The Bitstamp acquisition is another strategic pillar. By acquiring one of the oldest and most reputable crypto exchanges, Robinhood has instantly expanded its international footprint and gained a serious foothold in global crypto trading. This isn't just about adding customers, it's about integrating Bitstamp's infrastructure, licenses, and brand reputation into Robinhood's broader crypto ambitions. And then there's the steady rollout of new crypto products, including staking features and perpetual futures. These are higher margin services that diversify Robinhood's revenue streams beyond just stock and options trading. They also keep the company competitive with pure-play crypto exchanges, which is important as the lines between brokerage and exchange continue to blur. Now, Monday's 3% gain, and really the rally all week, wasn't tied to one single news event, but rather to a continuation of bullish sentiment that's been building for months. A big part of that sentiment came from an analyst upgrade. Piper Sandler raised their price target for Hood from $70 to a staggering $110, maintaining an overweight rating. When respected analysts make bold calls like that, it sends a signal to the market that there's still more upside to be had. It's worth noting, too, that Robinhood is now attracting a different class of investor. It's not just retail traders anymore. Institutional ownership has been climbing, and with a market cap over $100 billion, it becomes harder for large funds to ignore. That can create a self-reinforcing cycle, where index funds, ETFs, and mutual funds increase their holdings, adding to demand for the stock. But let's be real here, no rally is without its risks, and part of being a smart investor is knowing what could trip up the story. For Robinhood, regulatory scrutiny remains a constant background risk, especially in the United States. The company's expansion into crypto, tokenized assets, and staking puts it squarely in the sights of regulators who are still figuring out the rules for these emerging markets. Any unexpected clampdown could slow adoption or add costly compliance hurdles. There's also the question of sustainability in crypto revenues. While the 98% year-over-year growth is impressive, crypto is notoriously volatile. If the market pulls back sharply, those revenues could do the same. Robinhood's challenge will be to keep growing its non-crypto business lines so that it's not overly dependent on one sector. Competition is another factor. From traditional brokers like Fidelity and Charles Schwab to newer fintechs and crypto-native platforms, Robinhood operates in a fiercely competitive space. Its edge has been in user experience, pricing, and innovation, but those advantages will have to be maintained, and that takes constant investment. So, where does that leave us heading into the weekend? For one, Robinhood has momentum on its side, and momentum matters in markets. The fundamentals are strong, the product pipeline is compelling, and the macro backdrop for retail investing and crypto is favorable. The $100 billion milestone could serve as both a validation of the company's progress and a launchpad for the next phase of growth. If you're looking for potential catalysts, keep an eye on the rollout of tokenized products beyond Europe, updates on the integration of Bitstamp, and any signs of Robinhood's proprietary blockchain going live. Progress on any of those fronts could reignite investor excitement. And of course, speculation about S&P 500 inclusion is likely to keep simmering in the background. If that were to happen, it could drive significant buying from passive funds. In the short term, the stock could face some natural consolidation after such a massive run. That's normal, and even healthy. But the bigger picture is that Robinhood has managed to evolve beyond just being the meme stock app of 2021. It's now a multifaceted fintech with serious ambitions in both traditional and decentralized finance. Crossing the $100 billion market cap is a reminder that in markets, narratives can change, and when they do, they can change fast. A year ago, Robinhood was still fighting to prove it could grow beyond its pandemic-era highs. Today, it's one of the most talked about, most actively traded, and most closely watched stocks on the market. So, can the rally last? That's the question on everyone's mind. The answer will depend on whether Robinhood can keep executing on its vision, navigating regulatory uncertainty, and delivering products that resonate with a global user base. If it can do that, this $100 billion mark might just be another milestone on the way to even bigger numbers. For now, the bulls are firmly in control, and Robinhood's transformation story is one of the most compelling in the market right now.